Myself, Jose Antony, VJ, Department of Basic Science and Humanities, Rajagiri School of Engineering and Technology, Kakinada. We are going to deal about the different types of optical fiber. We know optical fibers are used in different areas. We use optical fiber for communication purpose. We use optical fiber for sensing. Now, going to discuss about the different types of optical fiber. Types of optical fiber. Now, fibers are classified into two categories. The two categories based on the refractive index profile. That is the first classification based on refractive index profile. Refractive index profile. And then another one is based on the number of modes. Number of modes. So based on the refractive index profile, we have two different types of optical fiber. We have step index fiber, step index fiber, and graded index fiber. Graded index fiber. And based on the number of modes, we have single mode fiber, single mode fiber, and multi-mode fiber, and multi-mode fiber. So based on refractive index profile, we have step index optical fiber, and we have graded index fiber. And based on the number of modes, we have single mode fiber and multi-mode fiber. Now we are going to discuss one by one. First, we move on to the type of fiber, which is step index single mode optical fiber. So the first one is step index single mode. Step index single mode optical fiber. Now two different words are there, step index and single mode. Two different words are there, step index and single mode. Step index refers to the how the refractive index profile of the fiber varies. That is called the step index optical fiber. Step index. And single mode means this type of optical fiber supports only one mode. That is what is refers to the single mode. Mode refers to the parts supported by the fiber. So single means this fiber will be supporting only one mode. So that is the first type of optical fiber, step index single mode. That is a refractive index profile. Refractive index profile look like a step, and this fiber supports only one mode, and hence the name step index single mode optical fiber. That is a variation in the refractive index, look like a step. So it is step index fiber, and this fiber supports only one mode. That is why it is called single mode optical fiber. These are the following characteristics of a single mode optical fiber. These are the following characteristics of a single mode optical fiber. We know optical fibers have two different regions, core and cladding. So I'm going to draw the general structure of an optical fiber. This is a core region and this is the cladding region. This is the core and cladding. So this is core and this is cladding. So in the case of a single mode step index optical fiber, the core and cladding, they have uniform refractive index throughout. Uniform refractive index throughout. Uniform refractive index throughout. So everywhere within the core region, the refractive index is the same. And everywhere within the cladding, the refractive index is the same. That is what is meant by uniform refractive index. And core refractive index is denoted by N1, and cladding refractive index is denoted by N2, with N2 less than N1. So this is the variation in refractive index of the core and cladding. So uniform refractive index, whether it is core or whether it is cladding, throughout the core region and throughout the cladding region, the refractive index is the same. Now, when you come to the dimension of this fiber, the core is having a very small diameter. Core has a very small diameter. Core diameter is very small. Core diameter is very small. So this is the next feature of the step index single mode optical fiber. That is a very small core diameter. And the next one is the profile variation. That is the refractive index profile. Means how the refractive index varies when you move radially from the center of the core towards the core cladding region. So if you move from the center of the core towards the core cladding region and then towards the cladding region, then how the refractive index varies. That is what is meant by the refractive index profile. So the refractive index profile look like a step. Refractive index profile look like a step. Refractive index profile is step-like profile. So these are the few features of the step index single mode optical fiber. That is a uniform refractive index of that is core or cladding. Diameter of the core is very small. The refractive index profile is step-like. So these are the certain features of this single mode optical fiber. I will move on to the next type of optical fiber, that is a step index multimode optical fiber. That is the second type, step index multimode optical fiber. Again, the same thing, two words are there, step index and multimode. Step index refers to the refractive index profile. How the refractive index profile look like? Refractive index profile. How the refractive index profile look like? And a multimode optical fiber indicates that this fiber will be supporting many modes. It supports many modes, or multiple modes. That is the meaning of these two different words, step index multimode optical fiber. Now the features of this step index optical fiber, as you know, as in the case of every fiber, these two parts is a very essential core and cladding. These are the guiding component of the light. So in the case of a step index multimode optical fiber, the core, and this is the cladding region, refractive index N2 and refractive index N1, and the core is having a very large diameter. So when you compare the core diameter with a single mode optical fiber with step index multimode optical fiber, the core is having a very large core diameter. So very large core diameter, Refractive index profile. How the refractive index profile, if you move from the center of the core towards the core cladding region and then from the core cladding interface to the cladding boundary, when you move radially, the variation in refractive index look like a step, or the refractive index profile will be step-like profile. So as in the case of the single mode optical fiber, this fiber also have a step-like profile. So refractive index profile is step-like profile. step-like profile. So large core diameter, that is the first feature of the step index multimode optical fiber. Refractive index profile is step-like profile. And the third feature of the single mode optical fiber is it can support many modes, supports many mode or multiple mode. So these are the features of the step index single mode optical fiber. And then we have the last category of optical fiber, that is a multi-mode graded index fiber or graded index fiber, graded index optical fiber, multi-mode graded index fiber. Two different words are there, multi-mode and graded index. Multi-mode refers to the fact that this fiber supports many modes. It supports many mode, and graded index fiber refers to the variation in refractive index, refractive index profile. Variation in refractive index or the refractive index profile is just graded. That is the meaning of graded index optical fiber. Now these are the features of this multi-mode graded index fiber. It is having a large core diameter, and when you, so this fiber has, you know, these are the essential component of an optical fiber. Every optical fiber will be having a core and cladding. So this is a core and this is a cladding. This is a cladding which is having a refractive index of N2. And there is a difference between this multi-mode graded index fiber and single mode fiber and step index multi-mode fiber is that the core refractive index varies. I will explain to you the point later on. The variation in refractive index, how the refractive index through the core varies in the case of a multi-mode graded index fiber. So it is characterized by, so these are the features or characteristics of this multi-mode graded index fiber: large core diameter, the refractive index profile is parabolic. It's parabolic refractive index profile. The last feature is it supports many mode. So these are the features of this multi-mode graded index fiber. So I'm just summarizing this session. We studied about 3 different types of fiber. So fibers are classified into 2 categories based on refractive index profile and based on the number of modes. We have single mode optical fiber. That is the first type of fiber. And the second type of fiber is multi-mode optical fiber. And the second one, last one is multi-mode graded index fiber. Multi-mode graded index optical fiber. So 3 different types of fibers are there, or fibers are classified into 3: single mode optical fiber, multi-mode optical fiber, and multi-mode graded index fiber.